Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of GDSC Podcast, an initiative by GDSC I²IT where we bring to you thought provoking discussions with great individuals. So sit back, relax, and join us to explore something new. Today, we are talking to Shaurya Uppal. He is working as a senior data scientist at Glands by InMobi Group. He is an experienced data and applied scientist with expertise in statistical machine learning algorithms, natural language processing, and recommendation systems. Shaurya has a wealth of experience in the field of data science. He is passionate about data to solve real world problems. Currently, he is pursuing his master's in computer science from Georgia Institute of Technology, Atlanta, Georgia, via the online master's program. Apart from this, he has also worked as a data and applied scientist at EP5 Technologies, where he was a part of a data science core team.
Pocket.com.
So, Shaurya, thank you for joining us today. So, without any further delay, let's dive deep into this world of data science and machine learning along with you. Okay? So, I'd like to ask you a first question. So, Shaurya, we had a lot about Glands, like that's an artificial intelligence driven software company and which delivers a personalized content is what we have heard. So, like of lock screen smartphones,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, so people using Samsung,
Yeah.
Xiaomi, Realme kind of devices, it's on the lock screen and the product is always kind of improving with iOS 16 coming in, things changing in the lock screen area, Glance also improvising with live on the lock screen with commerce on the lock screen. Yeah, things tech always improvisation always be there and the lock screen thing it's something different and there are a lot of users, there are about 500 million users, so me more than that, so me working over there kind of gave me a lot of exposure to data. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So, what's your role as a data scientist there? Like over there, what you do
Yeah, so I
exactly?
kind of was heading the monetization space. I started with a short video platform, something called as Raposo, for tier 2, tier 3 cities. It's very similar to YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, Moj, Chingari, there are many more. So I started my journey there, played around with short video platforms, then moved on to monetization space where I was kind of leading the monetization, like how exactly we monetize the platform. Because on the lock screen, we showing content is free of cost. Even YouTube is free of cost. Only ads is the major play. So I was running through ads, which ads should be shown to the user, moving towards more personalizations as that the user is happy, we are also happy, and we get the better return for ROI is high for each ad being shown to the user. So that personalization factor was the where I come in. I was just bridging the gap of personalization.
Okay. So now we as know like in such big companies like everyone's role matters and everyone's contribution is very important to the company. So how does your contribution like give to the company? Like what exactly do they like get it from
Yeah,
you?
data science is pure business driven stuff. So my role was to kind of improve personalization, and when you work in data science field, it's always metrics driven. You cannot kind of say that I showed you showed Shravani Naika ad because she is a female and she likes Naika, and that's why it's really good. So I cannot kind of say sitting over here. I need to show direct impact whether you kind of clicked on the Naika ad or not, whether you bought something from Naika or not. So the relevance comes if you show ad to a user, what action the user takes on an ad, it also depends on that. So my contribution totally depends on what how the metrics are driving. So it's not just two or three users saying it looks good, but rather the entire metrics on a large user base. How does it look like? That's what matters. So business metrics are there, online offline metrics are there. So we need to kind of optimize on those.
Oh, so that was a pretty much easy example to understand for the audiences who are not into the tech world. like is easy for them to understand what
Yep.
data science is. So there are a lot of many other stacks to the work, like into development, cybersecurity, then Web3, blockchain, app development, and etc. So on. So why do you specifically choose to have a career in data science and machine learning rather than
Yeah,
other
I
these
kind of
fields?
tried every role is special. And if you see salaries and those kind of reasons, lot of people give that join data science because of salary. It's not that. It's never that. So people kind of choose data science mostly because they are curious about research and they want to learn. If you lot of people I have seen jumping from software backend engineers to data science and then moving back to backend engineering because they figured out that it's a constant learning space. Today ChatGPT coming in, LLMs coming in, tomorrow something else comes in. There was BERT, there was something else. Natural language processing is expanding at a very fast pace. And then there is image stuff in data science. Within data science itself, there are multiple components. And data science exactly doesn't go alone. You need to have backend engineers, you need to have web developers, you need to have Android developers. So everybody has a
Yeah.
special role, and it totally depends on what they like. Even I tried out. I am a computer science grad, so even I tried out web development. I tried out Android as well. I create my own apps. I published it on Play Store, but I figured out that it's not the space for me. I would like to try out something else. So I did, and I liked the space and I'm continuing that. So it totally depends. A lot of data science move from data science to product managers. Few people move from product managers to data science. I was kind of someone few days back pinged me was a professor at Fiji and these kind of institutes, and that person from being a teacher to becoming a data science, that's totally different space. Lot of people even at 80-year-old, I was kind of talking to someone who lives in Australia, wants to kind of learn data science. So it totally depends on person to person. It's not that because it's a high paying job or something else. Even web developers and backend developers get the same. So it's not that in India. So it totally depends whether you like it or not, how curious about you are towards problem solving. I it's totally personal preference.
Yeah, definitely. So now moving to your academic pursuits, as you are pursuing a master's in computer science, like basically in data science majors. So right, am I? So tell us about the project you were working as a part of the master's program. Like there are many projects people choose, but we'd like to know that what program and master program you choose.
I'm doing my OMSCS. I work and do my master's in weekends. I have been kind of doing it for about 4 or 5 months. Have been pursuing my master's as well as work. I kind of started with machine learning with trade, where I kind of learned how the trade world works, how the Bollinger Band and the technical indicators exactly impact the market. So those kind of learnings were there, and it was an interesting course. Today I am learning about AI for robotics, how robotics and the self-driving cars and those kind of stuff works. Yeah, I'm kind of pursuing my master's because I wanted to learn more in the field, and that's the main reason. It's not just technically, if you work in retail or you work in ads, the things become repetitive, and you need to always upskill. So, in today's time when things are not going good around the world, it's the best time to upskill.
Yeah, definitely. Like ones you say, we remember, everyone remembers the example of what during
Yep.
happened during COVID-19. Like most of us, like upskilled our talents and skills at that time. Like we actually used the time what we got. So definitely a good answers to the upcoming engineers. So, Shaurya, nowadays that's a very much buzz regarding the words artificial intelligence,
Yep.
machine learning, data science. So, after ChatGPT's entry into the market, major tech giants added to the competition to their
Hmm.
own generated AI,
Hmm.
like Google's Bard, So also, if you have like had a look at the Google's IO keyword, even that happened at Sholin, and then at the word AI, and stressed over a lot many times. Like it's like an AI show, and it's a big platform. You'll have robots and robotics all over there. So what do you
Yeah,
think
it's
about
it's
that?
really interesting as well. While AI is scaling up, there are a lot of non-tech people jumping in the space who don't understand AI, but they preach AI in such a way that it gets sold faster. So AI is not any such term. It's like a sell term to people. And a lot of companies and people use AI to sell things to someone. So AI is no term. There is nothing like AI. What exactly? It's there are few weights, few mathematics, few probabilities, and that's it. There is nothing as AI or something. But yeah, it's pretty much the field is kind of climbing up. Things are becoming better. And yeah, of course, if you talk about ChatGPT, it has reduced. It's of course reducing human intelligence. People are even the recent grads are using it for assignments, and when they pass out and they go for interviews towards companies, companies don't need these people because they are ChatGPT driven people. It's not that you need to kind of not drive yourself towards ChatGPT because it's not ChatGPT becoming a tool for you. It's replacing you. If you keep on using it again and again for all of your assignments, your creativity will go down and ChatGPT will help you for each assignment, and then it gets trained better and better. So it's not that you need to have your own creativity. And yeah, of course, ChatGPT helps to make things faster, but it's still not the best. If you kind of read few blogs and stuff, a US based lawyer kind of used ChatGPT and kind of made some verdicts and statements which were not true. And when the judge asked him that how exactly are you saying that these statements are true or not, he said, I used ChatGPT, and then at the end I asked, is this statement true? And ChatGPT said yes, and he kind of presented it in US court. So yeah, it's a career threat to him as well. So it totally depends how you use these tools. Uh, IOs are always sell terms. Google is a multi-billionaire company. They want to sell more. They want to kind of have their own metrics. They were doing layoffs few days back. It shows that their revenue is being impacted because of ChatGPT. People coming less on search, so those things are always there. So you need to be pretty smart that not get sold by the term AI. It's yeah, it's climbing up, learn it, take it as a tool, improvise, make things faster, but don't try to get it on you always.
Oh, that's an amazing answer to the upcoming, like the people who are just dependent and rely on ChatGPT, because as like AI has its own
Yep.
pros, but it has its own cons also. Like we should know about it definitely. Like the said you thing about the lawyer, like definitely it can get him into
Yep.
trouble. So, why do you think there's a lot much boom regarding AI and machine learning, and why everyone is rushing toward these technologies? Like, there are, of course, like I said, pros and cons, but why there is so much like exact buzz in the teenagers or in the like it feels like a trend?
Few days
Why?
back, the trend was towards crypto as well. The trend kind of keeps on changing. So crypto was there, there was Web3, there was the trend keeps on changing. So you heard about crypto a lot of times. Crypto died. There was Dogecoin. There was a lot of other terms being used. Today people are saying AI, 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 and the next day they will say something else. So it's not about running after a term or something.
Okay, so now as you have like worked and studied in this field too much, so tell us about the roles, experiences, and projects you worked on as a part of Epify Technologies
Yeah, I
and
worked
1MG
in
Technologies.
startups. I liked working in startups, wanted to join them. Big tech companies don't teach you all the things, they teach their own tools. So I wanted to start with startups. You also data science getting in startups, that's the best thing. So I started my journey with 1MG. played around with recommendation systems on the product page, worked on personalization on the home page, showing more things to the user, trying to cross sell, upsell, and then moved on from retail, e-commerce, e-pharmacy, and it was quite huge scale. I wanted to learn what's exactly what it takes to build something from 0 to 1, where there is nothing over there, and then you start from scratch. So I got hired as the first data scientist at Epify at very early stage, top 50 employees, seed funded startup company. I wanted to learn more. I learned a lot of things. I learned leadership. I hired people. I created team, worked on different stuff. Then kind of moved on from there towards a larger scale where I got to see 500 million users. And yeah, that was caused the shift. So started with mid startup, then seed, and then a larger one where there was huge scale, huge data. So yeah, learning kept on changing, and the domains also changed. So started with retail, then fintech, and then adtech. So it gave me a understanding as well towards which domain works best for me. And yeah, it always happens with people until you try different things, you won't learn more. So yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, and definitely this reflects in you because when like you went from step by step, like as you said, like you worked in different domains. So it gave you an overall experience about
Yep.
your role. So that's what builds you up so much.
Yeah, I kind of
Then
yeah.
Shaurya,
Yep. Please go ahead.
with increasing popularity of data science and machine learning, we see a growing number of individuals entering these fields. Okay, so it's becoming more competitive, and so like there are so many aspiring data scientists and machine learning professionals out there. What's an advice you have to give to our listeners to differentiate themselves rapidly in these expanding fields?
Mm, become jack of all, master of one. That's the key thing someone told me back, and I am just repeating it. It was the first manager who told me, become jack of all, master of one. So you need to become that. Data science has different areas, different domains. Domains we know it's retail, fintech, farm, and there are few more ad tech. Entertainment is there, agriculture is also there, IoT stuff is there. So there are of course there are multiple domains, but within data science as well, you have multiple areas to specialize in. So you have NLP, you have forecasting stuff, time series forecasting, you have statistical machine learning, you have OpenCV stuff, the fast track example, the number plate detection people work on, face detection, stable diffusion is there. So those kind of things are there, of course, in the camera space, the OpenCV space. NLP, you have ChatGPT, LLMs, BERT, these kind of things. In forecasting, you have different areas. Statistical machine learning have different areas. Personalization, recommendation system, Rexis is totally a different domain. It has so many things that even it takes about 5 6 years to kind of study a lot of research papers to become good at it. So I chose Rexis. That's my specialty, and I know other fields as well. I don't understand OpenCV much, but I do know what's the basics of it. So all you need to build your basics and become specialty, create one specialty of yours. So that makes you different, and also a lot of problem solving, working on different areas, reading blogs. Of course, that helps. I do have my own newsletters, so that keeps me upskilled. Even other people can follow something similar to it, become jack of all, master of one. That's the best what companies need.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, right? Because nowadays, like we know we want to get into data science and machine learning, but we don't know where to specialize, and that brings us down. Like students, they go behind it, and then there will be a big choice options of different like internal fields in that one field. So definitely a good answer to them. Then there's a lot much content and stuff available on the internet to learn and get hands on data science. and machine learning also, like there are many YouTube videos, online courses, and etc. So what roadmap you will suggest to the students like who are aspiring to get a career in data science or machine learning?
Mm, of course, not YouTube. That doesn't help. Uh, Choose your teacher right, choose your guru and those kind of things right. If you choose that wrong just by looking at some number of subscribers and number of followers for any YouTuber, of course you will fail. Because and these guys, if you see a lot of YouTubers, they have 3 million, 5 million followers, while if you check their background, they have just worked 1 or 2 years at Amazon or some other company, uh, and then they started preaching something which they don't even understand. So uh, you need to kind of choose your teacher right. That's the main thing. It's not that check the past company and just check number of followers and then start following the other guy. So it's not that. Of course, read intelligent blogs, read, follow research papers. That's the main thing. Andrew NG is having lesser number of followers these days than the other people who just started in the field 1 or 2 years back. So even not my words as well. I am still learning. A lot of good people still say that they are learners. They Google around things and then do their research. The best teachers and best people will always say that. People saying that they know everything don't exactly know how big the space is. So people who do realize that how much they don't know are the ones who are good in the market. So in the field. So you need to kind of read blogs. If you want to check mine, you can check those. If you want to check Pinterest blogs, check those. Check Netflix blogs. They are pretty good. Airbnb is there. Lot of tech giants kind of have intelligent, impressive engineering blogs, which gives you lot of learning. Even I write my newsletters, inspiring from those, learning around from different papers, different areas, and that makes me better each day. So your learning path is best through these engineering places, while from experts, people who are good in the domain. That's one. Another is kind of you can check YouTubers' videos, but you need to verify whether they are right or wrong, but just not with 1 or 2 videos or number of views, but rather, yeah, there is one channel which is StackQuest. That guy is a PhD, pretty good, amazing person. You can check those. There are a lot of people who are good in the market but still have lesser number of followers. So don't go by number of followers just because it's looking shiny. It's not shiny. So yeah, learn from people, learn from blogs, engineering, those kind of things. You can follow few courses, but my learning has never been courses, so I don't preach those. But for each person, the learning is different. Some people uh, like to watch, some people like to read, some people even kind of, even it's a blog, you can still listen it. So different people kind of study in different ways. So few people like to even take printouts of research papers and then read it, because we have been in Indian ecosystem, it's always papers and pen, pencil, and paper, not computers. So our learning is programmed in such a way, if something gets printed out, we are pretty much good at it. So your learning totally depends what exactly you like. So you can follow your own path. But yeah, I gave few examples and few pros and cons and few things that you should not do. So yeah, you can be aware of those.
Yeah. And like, have you had any personal experience? Like, you saw your YouTube video, you went for the course, rather you paid for it, and then you felt that it was not worth it.
I have never paid for a lot of courses. I did follow in starting like Andrew NG, and these are pretty traditional for ML. You need to start with those. But later on, I see. So to upskill, I am doing my masters. I don't need courses. So uh, I can
Hmm.
I read blogs and these things. So I don't need courses. I don't rely on those a lot. I can pretty much Google around things when problem statements and these kind of things come up. If you're good at research, you don't need a lot of courses around. But yeah, of course, build your statistics, build your basics pretty good. So basics is the thing that makes you strong. If you have your basics clear, then few here and there's can always help.
So that was definitely a path for the upcoming and pursuing data science like people. Like yeah, don't follow YouTube and unnecessarily so much courses. So thank you so much, Shaurya. Like it was an
Yeah,
amazing
it
time.
it was great to connect with you, Shravani.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you found our discussion with Shaurya Uppal insightful and inspiring. Before we go, we would like to thank Shaurya for taking time to join this discussion and share his expertise. We greatly appreciate his valuable insights and advice. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to our podcast and stay tuned for more fascinating conversations. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep learning and keep exploring.